This video is about verb tense. We're going to focus on the simple past of strong or irregular verbs. What is the simple past? Simple past tense in German is called the Präteritum. It is the narrative past, the past tense that Germans use for writing. The formula for strong or irregular verbs is auf der Liste, on the list, plus Endungen, endings. The endings are nothing, st, nothing, en, t, en. You will learn more in this video about those e's in parentheses and when to use them. You have been provided with a list in class of the most common strong or irregular verbs. How do you know if a verb is strong or irregular? As you encounter them, you memorize them. If the verb's formula is stem plus te plus endings, then it is weak. If that is not the formula, you must memorize it because it is strong or irregular. The verbs on the list are all included in the video. Let's look at an example. I ate a pizza is Ich aß eine Pizza. You can see that the conjugated verb aß is in the second position. This simple past verb comes from to eat, which is essen. There is no great formula for verbs that aren't weak. Some have stem vowel changes, and some have stem changes that involve more than vowels. If you see similarities, maybe group those together to memorize them better, but you must memorize them. The conjugated verb is located in the second position in the simple past. This is not the perfect. There are no helping verbs, only the simple past verb. Remember that these must be memorized because there is no great rule. They are conjugated for ich or rcs for these examples. You would need to add endings for the other forms. If you would like to try the simple past on your own, pause the video now. Note the definitions are the definitions for the simple past version of these verbs. The answers you should have are bekam, brachte, dachte, lud ein, aß, fand, gab, gefiel, hatte, half, kannte. If you'd like to try these on your own, pause the video now. The answers you should have are las, nahm, rief, schlief, schrieb, sah, saß, sprach, trug, traf, trank, tat, vergaß, wusste. The simple past verbs below all use sein as their helping verb in the present perfect, but you will see that this no longer matters in the simple past Präteritum. They have still been separated from the others to show you that these verbs typically involve motion or change in state of being, although they are not all that way. For example, bleiben is literally the opposite. Grouping these verbs together may help you to continue to remember that they use sein in the perfect. If you would like to try the simple past on your own, pause the video now. The answers you should have are stand auf, blieb, fuhr, flog, ging, kam, lief, schwamm, war, würde. We now have some examples for you to try using the simple past verbs on your own. If you would like to try all of the examples on your own, pause the video now. If you're still with me, you may want to try going over the first one together. The first example is he read a book. So, read comes from to read. How do you say to read in German? That is lesen. So, lesen is one of those strong or irregular verbs that don't have a stem that you can remember easily. That means that it's on the list. Do you remember the simple past of lesen from the list? It was las. So, we need las plus now our ending. Our ending has to agree with our subject, and our subject is he. How do you say he in German? That is er. Now we need an ending on las for er. What's our simple past er ending? You should have said nothing. That means that we have er las, and you should know how to say a book. So you have er las ein Buch. Try the rest on your own now. The answers you should have are Wir schrieben einen Brief. And note, for those of you who have been wondering why the endings for wir and z are en with the e in parentheses in the praeteritum, now you see why. It is the strong or irregular verbs that need that e, but it is easier to memorize the same endings for all of the simple past instead of different ones for weak and strong verbs. You knew to add the e because it just didn't seem right without it. For the simple past verbs that end in te, the e will not be needed in the en endings. For the others, it will be needed. The rest of your answers are Ich fuhr nach Kansas City, Du dachtest das, Die Studenten flogen mit dem Flugzeug, Claudia wurde eine Lehrerin. Remember, simple past is for writing in German, whereas the present perfect is used for speaking in German. This is reversed in English, where we use simple past for speaking and present perfect mostly for writing.